Almost exactly 1 month from when I'm recording this video, I covered a stock that would go on to run up over 50% in just 1 month, from $67 per share to today's price of $101 per share after reaching a peak of nearly $115 per share. Now I'm back to talk about that stock again because since doing that video, I have done more research, and that research has led me to believe that Livongo Health still has more room to run. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Matthew. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are talking all things Livongo Health, or as we like to call it here on this channel, Livongo Gains. You gotta give me the format. First, for any newcomers, or if you just kind of forgot, a brief refresher of what Livongo does and the opportunities that lay ahead of them. Second, the key things that I learned about their executive team and their company culture since making my last video. Third, the incredible power and use of AI in Livongo's system. And finally, fourth, their unique approach to the healthcare industry and how I believe it will lead to sustained growth. Let's get started right away with part one, a brief refresher on what Livongo does and the opportunities they have. Livongo is revolutionizing healthcare for people with chronic illnesses. Their main products right now include a blood monitoring kit for diabetes and a hypertension kit that can utilize the data you give it to provide personalized care in the form of something called applied health signals. In other words, the more you use it, the more your Livongo device gets to know you personally, and then it will send you personalized nudges or signals like, hey, your blood sugar is a little higher at this time of the day, maybe try and eat a little cleaner leading up to it. Or, hey, usually you seem a little stressed at this time of the day, let's do a 30-second meditation. The other huge benefit of Livongo is their 24/7 live coaching staff. They literally have a staff dedicated 24 hours to help you train your mind and body to be healthier and better interpret the signals from your devices. As of now, Livongo is focusing on diabetes and hypertension, but they have a major overarching plan to focus on the whole person. This means Livongo will expand far beyond just hypertension and diabetes. In fact, they've already integrated weight management into their services, and they're currently working on a behavioral science solution as we speak. Lastly, for this part of the video, their business opportunity is huge. 147 million people in the US have a chronic condition, with 40% of all of these people having more than one chronic condition. And I believe that Livongo's end goal is to help everyone who has any sort of chronic condition. About 90% of healthcare spend in the US is attributed to chronic or behavioral health conditions, meaning it's a $3.7 trillion cost annually to the US economy. But again, as of now, with hypertension and diabetes as their main two offerings, their current immediate addressable market is $46.7 billion, which is still massive. So that's what Livongo does, and that's the opportunity ahead of them. So let's move on to part two, what I've learned about their executive team and their company culture. I spent a good 4 hours the other day just watching interviews of the executive team at Livongo, learning about them and their products. Here's what I learned. First, Livongo's executive team and their employees are all very personally attached and involved with the company's mission. And remember, their mission is to provide a healthier, better life for everyone with a chronic illness, especially diabetes. Livongo's executive chairman, Glenn Tolman, has a son named Sam who has type 1 diabetes. The president of Livongo, Jennifer Schneider, has type 1 diabetes. A third of employees at Livongo have diabetes or hypertension, and another third of employees have family members who are directly impacted. The point is, this deep connection that the employees and executive team have with this mission will foster fantastic company culture and allow them to maintain high quality as they develop their product and grow. And I think this will serve them very well in the long run. I think it's very rare to ever find a company with an executive team and employees with such personal alignment with the mission statement of that corporation. More than anything, Livongo wants their members to save money, get healthier, and love the product. All three of which can now be backed up by research, reports, and feedback. The team and company also has this mindset of unifying the healthcare sector, which is currently and traditionally very fragmented, but we'll talk more about this later. As far as qualifications go for the exec team, this group is pretty stacked. The founder, Glenn Tolman, was able to assemble sort of the Avengers of consumer-facing healthcare. Many of these executives were brought on by Glenn because he either previously worked with them or competed against them in his past healthcare ventures. They all have solid qualifications. All right, moving on to part three of this video, AI, and more AI. In today's world, more than ever, data is king, and what a lot of people don't realize is just how much data Livongo is collecting. They have amassed over 500 million real data points. And on top of that, they receive 20,000 blood sugar checks every hour. They have hundreds of thousands of devices out there reporting real-time data to Livongo anytime someone uses their device. So we know they have all this data, but how do they use it? This is how. It starts here, where they collect the data on your blood pressure, weight, eating habits, blood sugar, insurance claims, and more. Then, Livongo interprets that data back at HQ before applying it to your experience through applied health nudges and coaching calls. The user's response and behavior will then give Livongo more data about whether or not their actions were helpful and which ones to do again or not to do. They iterate and iterate and iterate and start the process over. As it iterates, the AI just gets smarter and smarter, and this is all real-time data, all real-time suggestions, all of it. This whole process makes Livongo's product very sticky. And sticky is good because that means people don't want to leave. The longer you use Livongo, the more it knows about you and the more personalized the care becomes. I mean, just look at some other sticky services that have done incredibly well. Instagram is sticky. Video games are sticky. Sticky notes are sticky. Haha. Jokes. From an investor's perspective, we like sticky. Alright, part 4, the final part of this video, Livongo's unique approach to the healthcare industry. The health sector is notoriously divided, meaning a patient's data is often fragmented within individual organizations like hospitals, insurance companies, pharma companies, and the government. Additionally, there's not a ton of synergy between different companies within healthcare. But in recent years, this has begun to change, and Livongo is on the forefront of said change. Here are a couple partnerships that they made that were very strategic and very smart in my opinion. The first one is with a company called Dexcom. Dexcom produces continuous glucose monitors, a product often used either instead of or alongside Livongo's blood sugar monitor. This partnership, among other things, allows Livongo to access Dexcom's data and thus learn even more about the people that they are servicing. Another great example of a successful partnership / acquisition is Livongo's acquisition of MyStrength. MyStrength has since been able to fully integrate into Livongo's product suite and can now be offered with their weight management services, and it will contribute to their behavioral science services as well. But let me remind you that Livongo does not rely on or require acquisitions or partnerships to develop their product suite. In fact, when they expanded into hypertension, that was all Livongo. It's great to know that Livongo can do both. On one side, make successful acquisitions and partnerships, and on the other side, develop good products in-house. And now, with this change on the landscape of healthcare, with more people coming together and joining forces, Livongo should have a field day. They have a fantastic track record of identifying acquisition targets and making successful partnerships. I'm really excited to see who else Livongo decides to acquire or partner with next, and I think this is going to be a huge source of growth for the company moving forward. If you found any value in this video at all, and I hope you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the quote of the day. You might learn something. This one is from Mark Cuban, and I think it relates heavily to Livongo. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram for daily posts about my portfolio, different stocks I'm watching, and all of that good stuff. If you're watching at this point in the video, thank you so much. You are the real MVPs. Don't forget your peace and thank yous.